Yeah, excited to be 4 days away, man. It's good to be in a game week deal and out of fall camp, man. Some of these freshmen, you get them in fall camp, they get them camp eyes. It's like deer in the headlight, and what have I got myself into? So fall camp does end, and it was a great fall camp, man. One of the best I've ever been a part of. So our guys are just, bought in, and work has been tremendous. This group is really special, I think, far as the way they go about their business and handle their business, and just the development through the all season, I couldn't be more proud of. They've come a long way since January. We've transformed, physically and mentally. So they're just really, really fun group to work with. Staff's done a great job of just developing these young men, and it's going to be a fun season, man. We're excited to play somebody else and just kind of see where you're at. It's kind of the unknown in today's college football. You just and it's always been that way with an opener. You just don't know. Do you line up and play somebody else? And in today's world, especially when people flip over half the roster and you get a bunch of new guys in, and you got to develop them and see how the buy-in is and all those things. And everybody's got the same expectations, same goals the first year. Everybody wants to win the conference, win the national championship. So that's everybody's bought in on that same thing. So it's just good to get to play games and kind of see where you're at. So I count this first one. And then our first 5 games, when you look at them, really, really tough. I mean, I think our first conference opener, playing Tennessee Tech, they won their league 2 years in a row. That's a tough one. And you got VMI team's got a new coach and running the triple. And then we play UAB game 5. So in our first 2 are very challenging in Southern Illinois. Our home opener on a 5-day week. A Missouri Valley team who's really, really good, who beat the team that got beat double overtime in the finals last year. By 30 and did get in the playoffs. So that home opener is going to be very, very tough. And that leads me up to our opener. You got a historic program in UNA, rich in football tradition, always have been. It won several national championships at D2 level and moving up, and they're doing it the right way, man. They've invested. They got a new on-campus stadium, and they pouring a lot of money into it. They got the right coach. Coach Dearman does a great job. I mean, they were close last year. And everybody's going to look and go, okay, it's a 2-10 team playing a 1-11 team. I don't think neither one of our teams are indicated by the team we have right now by our record last year. And they were very close last year to having a really good year. You go, they won 2 games, Coach. How do you say that? Well, they went to Illinois State, game 2 or game 3 last year, and got beat in double overtime, okay? They missed the PAT, hit the crossbar to win the game in regulation 35-34. So they should have won the game in regulation. And that team went on to play in the national championship game. It could have been the national championship. So, and again, so Illinois beat Illinois State by 30 at the end of the season. So I think the Days World and FCS football especially, and I haven't played in it, and this will be the 5th season that I have not seen this level of competition. I think the parity is at an all-time high. At this level, it just shows you that a 2-10 team should have beat the team that played in the national championship game and could have won the national championship game 2 or 3, and that's how close it is. So UNA is going to be locked and loaded. They're going to be ready to play, and they got a good football team. They got a talented football team. So I count this as kind of like a playoff practice game, man. I think our first 5 games gives you some playoff caliber games in there. About every one of them we play will be a playoff caliber game, and our bunch has got to know that we're in this thing for the long haul. We're gonna get to kind of lay it down and play somebody else, and our guys are ready to play somebody else, ready to see a different color jersey. They're tired of banging on one another and see how far they come. And you just don't know till you lay it down and play. But I feel good about the way we're gonna play. How much results comes out of that, I don't know early. I think this is still a young football team that's going to get better as the year goes. And our deal is we just want to get better. We want to climb that mountain. We want to get better each and every day, each week. And I think our guys are bought in for the long haul. And, first games are first games. I went to my son's first game, high school game last week. Both sides, a lot of penalties, man. You had a lot of procedure penalties. You had a lot of first game hiccups. Things like that. So we want to be as clean as we can be in this opener, just execution-wise, and be focused on what we got to do, and getting our kicking game teams on and off the field and transition and play smart football. So looking forward to playing UNA. I think it's going to be a good opener for both of us. I think it's going to be an outstanding venue. I've already been up there to see that stadium. They've done a great job. The city of Huntsville just putting that thing together and the way they've redone that stadium. And it is done for a minor league, soccer stadium, but it is conducive for a football game as well. So I think our fans going to the game, UNA fans are going to love the venue. I think it'll be sold out. I think it'll be rocking on a Saturday night. I'm glad to be opening up, week 0 and getting to play and just see where our team's at. But just proud of the guys, proud of our staff and our players of the work that's been put in to get us to this point, and just excited about the season.
With Freed Airman, you both have kind of some high school ties here in Alabama. Have you known Brent for a while?
I have known him. Never not like we're best friends or anything, but I've known him through the business, and I've got a great respect for the way he does things. His dad was a high school football coach, so he's a ball junkie. Always has been. Got a jump when he went from high school and got on Gus's staff at Auburn and started out there. So does an outstanding job, I think, of just running the program. And he's been through a difficult situation the last few years. It's hard anytime you transition up at any level, So, going from D2 and going from 36 scholarships to, 63 scholarships and managing that move up financially from a university and doing those things, I think they've done a great job with it. You see a lot of people that move up a level and really, really struggle. Some teams do it, seamlessly, but it's a struggle to do that. But UNA's bought in on it. I mean, they're investing. Like I said, they've invested in on-campus stadium that they've never had. It's not like their old place was bad. I mean, the D2 National Championship game was played there for years and years. So it is just a place that loves athletics, loves sports, and like I said, they got a great fan base. It's going to be a good job. But I think Coach Dearman does a great job there.
When you study for a game like this, do you study like his progression? Do you study 3 years instead of last year type thing? When you put together sort of a look at this team?
Oh, you do. You look at everything. I mean, coaches were crazy, man. We look at all the hypotheticals, the what ifs, and what if they do that, and openers are tough if the whole staff's back and you what they're going to do. You got game film. The hard thing in today's world, I think, is until somebody plays a game, you don't know what they got. Because you can't identify hardly the returning starters they got on the team because so many people leave and they get new guys in. So you really don't know from a personnel standpoint what a team looks like till they actually play this year and you get game tape on. So, they're going to be talented. We know that. What makes an opener difficult is he's got 3 new coordinators. He's turned over the play calling. The guy he's coached with before, that was at the FBS school last year. So play calling on offense is going to be a little bit different. They got a new defense coordinator, so that scheme's going to be totally different. So they make changes for a reason. So schematically they will be different, probably all 3 phases. And they also have a new special teams coordinator. So, it's not like they don't have questions about us too, right? I mean, we're a whole new staff. Mickey Collins not calling a defense in college. They may be going back watching old Grayson tape, or they watching old, Clemson tape. And you got 2 different versions there. You got Brent Venables. You got, Coach Allen. What do they look like schematically? What do we look like schematically? So there's a lot of questions that I think both staffs have to, kind of prepare for. You want to make sure your team is as prepared as they can, and you got all the tools there and answers to be successful, because you got to prepare for a smorgasbord of offense and defense and special teams. But we feel pretty good if we got to beat on, kind of who they will be. But I'm sure there's going to be some surprises in there too, So they're always going to have some trick plays in there. They're always going to have kind of Gus Malzahnish on offense. I mean, they going to have some trick plays and reverses and things like that. So to get you on your heels. But we want to play aggressive, fast, all 3 phases, and just let our kids play. So we're as prepared for all the stuff that we could see for sure. It's not like we haven't went over it. I'm sure they'll create some explosives off of some different stuff that we'll see. Same for us. We hope we got a good plan in that we can take advantage of some things.
What's been the message to the team on, obviously, the on-field challenges, but the challenge of facing a team that, much like you all, spent the off season? We're better than our record from a season ago. We're hungry. We want more. What's the message of now going against a group that's just as hungry as this team is.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I said anytime you play an opener, every team has similar goals and expectations. You know, whether you had a great season last year or whether you're hungry, you want to, kind of redeem yourself from the year before, like these two teams. You know, so those guys have, some personal things that they want to, and program wise, that they want to fix. For sure. So you just don't know till you line up and play. And I tell our bunch, it really don't matter who we play. I don't care. We play a faceless opponent every week. We're going to know what they do inside and out, but we're playing Samford Bulldogs, man. If we execute and we play like we're the best we can play, that's all we can do. And that's all I ask out of these guys. You give us your best every time we line up and play. And they're doing a great job of just winning today, man, just getting better every day and developing, because this is a game of development. And I think these guys have developed so much, since January to now. The transformation has been very, very special. And so kind of life-changing. I mean, and so you lay it down, you play, and that's everybody wants to win, So there's going to be a winner or loser Saturday. I hope we can, do enough to win the game. And I think UNA's going to battle. It's going to be a tough deal, man. Ain't nothing easy in life. So this will be tough, just like the rest of the season. But I think those games kind of, all what we love the game for kind of galvanizes you, right? I mean, it is kind of fun to lay down and play and kind of see where we're at.
Looking at the just I know we kind of talked the punt pass kick stop the quarterback situation. Where you're at with that? Have you come to conclusion at that spot, or what will it look like?
Well, I say that I got a little more confused. We got a young freshman chasing them older guys, man. He's nipping at their heels. That window between the older guys and the young guys are really, really close. So we really hit on a freshman there. I think Will Shields is the future of Samford football, man. I think he's going to be an excellent player. So that's kind of the update. I feel like we got 4 guys now that go in and win a game for us, and that's a good thing. They all are doing some really good stuff, and they all have really solid camps. So I'm going to keep that under my hat. Talking about that scouting stuff, I'm gonna keep that under my hat till we when the first one runs out there, who that guy's gonna be. But an update on that is freshman's really good.
So even when they put the starters up on the board before the game,
it'll be a slash. It'll be either or. So I'm gonna I'll hold on to what I can hold on to, right?
Do you do that often? I mean, have you had an opportunity to do that often in your coaching career?
Oh, sometimes. I mean, they got an idea of the 3 guys we got, and probably the freshmen and all that stuff. They've done the research. They're on our website. They've watched film from their schools before, their high school stuff, kind of get an idea of what type of player that is. But so they know it's going to be one of those 3 guys for sure. And just like we know who their guy is. So, like I said, they ain't any secrets in this game. I do. Anytime I got a chance to do that, I do like to do that. You like the surprise element anyway.
What does your running back position look like? What have you thought about them?
Man, I think this room has come a long way. That's one I will talk about. Dominique Thomas is coming here, and really, he's a local kid, from Ohatchee High School. Got a great story, man. Hope y'all get to, you'll get to meet him as the year goes on. But you talk about a veteran guy, a professional guy. We don't have a harder worker on our team that, puts in the extra time and stuff. He's brought a lot of, I'll say, poise to that room. And it's time for Dominique to shine, man. I think he's going to have a great year, and he's a guy that's bounced around a good bit and has had, some personal setbacks with family stuff, and I'll let him tell you his story, but I pray for him, just like I do all the guys daily, just for success, man. He just deserves it. So into a room that I think was pretty good too. I mean, you got Ken Cherry and those guys in there that are going to be really have a good year. And we're going to play, 3 to 4 running backs, man. And so we'll give all those guys an opportunity. But I think, that's a room that really needed some competitive depth. And I think we got that now. We feel like our quarterback room, we feel very confident in those guys being able to, go in and what the production we're going to get out of that room with 3 or 4 of them in that room, that it's going to be the same type of production. So we're excited about that room.
Defensively, when we talked to you a couple weeks ago, you seemed encouraged. You thought, defense, you seemed to like the way the defense was playing. Going into this now, kind of where you are, what your feels about your defense going in?
Well, I mean, I feel good about it. Like I said, competitive depth was our thing at the end of spring. We didn't have it. And I think this summer and fall camp, we've been able to really establish some competition within rooms and some competitive depth. So, we feel good about our guys and just, we ain't got to play the same guy 60 snaps in a game. So I think we'll be able to rotate guys in there and be able to, keep fresh up front and stuff. But we got to continue to get better, and back end has come along too. So we feel good about kind of where we are. And defense is always ahead a little bit first 2 weeks of fall camp, and I think the offense has caught up a little bit and it's kind of back and forth and stuff. So excited to watch that much play. We're flying around, getting hats around the ball, and that's kind of what you want to see with our defense. And I think schematically, we just got to see who we are. And I think we got a good scheme that allows us to get our best players on the field and just get the guys out there and play it.
I know obviously the scoreboard is got to be the true measure of any game, but what do you as a team, what do you want to see in 60 minutes on Saturday? Kind of what do you want to see as a team other than the final score?
Well, I think when you watch us play, I want to see, number one, great effort. I want to see us represent our school with a great attitude. That comes from body language, how we handle adversity, how we handle success, all those things. And I want you to see it as a tough football team. Man, I want us to be tough mentally, physically, in everything we do. And you talk about an opener, all I can ask for is we go out there and do those three things and do those three things very well and kind of eliminate the things that are going to beat ourselves, So eliminate first game, things that loses ball, don't have many penalties. Take care of the football. Don't give up explosives defensively. Create some explosive offensively, and score with the ball. You go always score one more and they score. So that's going to be the keys to win the game. But I'm excited to watch this place so we can evaluate the things you're talking about. But for our fans, and we want them to see a great representation of Samford University and playing the game the way the game should be played. So I'm excited to watch our guys lay it down and play.
How do you keep that? You talked about how this fall has just been life-changing for a lot of the guys, for this team as a whole. How do you keep that mentality going to keep growing? Just now we got opponents on the board, it wins and losses.
Yeah, well, and we don't get, too caught up in the scoreboard, man. Some things we're just not in control of, right? We're in control of those three things I just said. Whether we win or lose a game, we're going to come to practice on Monday with the same attitude. Man, we're going to give great effort. We're going to have great attitude, and we're going to have toughness. So isn't that life? God don't promise us just because we're a believer of perfect life and everything good happens to us, right? He just he knows that we have faith in him that everything's going to work out. So our guys, we just want them to work every day to be better and get better each and every day. So we got, as a coach, I've never got hung up on, winning a championship, wins and losses. You learn more sometimes from your losses than you do your wins, and so we're bought in for the long run. And so I still love the game for the purity of the game, man. What the game does for these guys for the next 40, 50 years of their life, So I can tell you from January to now, it's been life-changing for a lot of people on our staff and our team. So this season, that's why we love it, man. You just don't know what's going to happen, right? You go win some games, you're going to lose some games, you're going to should have won a game and you're going to let it get away. So I'm excited to see how good we can play and play the game the way we want to play it.
What is that for a head coach? What is a Tuesday before your first game like? Is it one of those things where you go, I wish Saturday would get here, or one of those things you go, we better slow down, we got a lot of work to do?
Yeah, it is. I feel like we're hit. Openers, you work on a game plan for a little bit longer, and so we feel like we got a good beat on that. But we're going to do things today in practice that we just talked about, man. We're going to go out there and have great effort, and we're going to be a tough football team, man. So we're going to bang around a little bit, and that's the way our Tuesdays. Our Tuesday, we call it. They all know it. It's going to be a blue collar day, man. And just bring your lunch belt and your hard hat and go to work, man. They just. Why I love football, man. It's for physical people. It's for tough people. So that's the way we're going to practice, and that's what you're going to see on the field. That's the way we're going to play. And like I said, I think our guys have come a long way in that department about how we approach the game, because a lot of this game is still mental, right? It's how you approach the game mentally, and just getting your mindset the right way and making the most of every day you got. And we just don't want to lose a rep. We want to make the most of every rep that we get, and just developing young guys, and even challenge our older guys that. Just because you're in a starting rotation don't mean that you're not growing as a player.